Welcome everyone to our PayStand for NetSuite Suite Commerce Advanced. Today we'll be presenting material regarding innovating and automating your accounts receivables and billing processes using Oracle NetSuite and Oracle NetSuite Suite Commerce Advanced. Now, my name is Paul Siebert. I'm the e-commerce director here at the SCG Team, and Scott Campbell will be presenting to you today. He's the head of solutions at PayStand.
Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you, Paul. Yes, my name is Scott Campbell. I do head solutions here at PayStand. And what PayStand does, to jump right into it, is we bring the digital era to commercial payments, to what is often referred to as B2B payments, and all of the benefits and value that comes with making digital your commercial payments. Values such as better management and even elimination of transaction fees. They're an antiquated byproduct of a system that was built long ago, handling what was yesterday's problem. Today in the digital space, we can send an infinite amount of data to anybody, anywhere in the world for free. Payments at their core are now digital information, and thus should benefit from the advantages of a digital world, just as email does. Additionally, automating these processes becomes easier. Making these processes operate faster becomes easier. Having access to the data as well as the impact of what the payment means to your business should be faster and easier. In order to properly have this conversation, we all need to agree on what the life cycle of money is and its importance to our business. And we felt a number of solutions out there were not properly addressing that definition. As obvious as the definition seems, we did not see enough work being done to properly address it. That for every accountant, for every bookkeeping, for every business, a payment is not just simply your payer entering a credit card or a bank account online and you receive an email that says the payer paid you. There is so much more to a payment than that. And really where the story picks up is recognizing that payments are about your revenue, what causes that revenue or what's the source of that revenue, why are your customers paying you that, to then in turn it becomes your revenue, and what does that revenue do after your customers have actually paid you? It begins with your sales team or your catalog or however your business approaches new customers with that engagement to the customer. The customer tells you what they want, products and services are listed, and essentially a bill gets created. If the bill is created before delivery of product or service, that typically is called a sales order. If you're operating with an invoice, that typically represents that you've delivered product and service, you're accepting a payment for that delivery. Either way, you're having a conversation with your customer about the products and services you'll be delivering to them and the monies that your customer owes you in exchange for those. Your customer then has to remit that payment in a manner that works for them and their business, but also works for you and your business. As we come around the life cycle, we realize the story has not ended, that now that the customer has paid you, how are your records, how is your company being updated as to the impact of that payment? Is the invoice being marked as paid? Did a human have to be involved to do that? How long does that process take? Ultimately, of course, the funds get deposited to a bank account, and for anybody who knows anything about payments, we know that those processes are not instantaneous. While it seems instantaneous when we swipe our card at the local coffee shop and our bank holds funds off of our balance virtually instantaneously, for the real business operations going on, we know that those funds don't move instantly. But once they do, how are they being reported into your ERP? How does your business know the difference between an invoice that your customer has promised to pay you versus an invoice that has resulted in genuine dollars appearing in your bank account? And then lastly, of course, is what is the importance of that to your business? Do you know the difference between the number of invoices that somebody has promised to pay you versus the number of invoices that actually have resulted in cash in the bank? And do your business processes change with that type of information? Do you look to maximize sales towards that customer segment that pays its invoices quickly with actual funds in the bank? Or do you maximize for a different segment, but perhaps differently because their payments take longer, they pay later? All of these things have to have the actual dollars in your bank account and when you receive them. At the heart of being able to do that is digitizing the payment method. Everything I've described so far is not possible to do with a paper check. It's not possible to do with physical cash that a customer hands you over the counter. What we do is at PayStand is we bring all of those activities to a digital realization. We bring those to a digital space. We put automated receivable, or we put your receivables into automation. And we can do that because it's trivial for NetSuite and any other computer to schedule a number of these processes and have them executed. With PayStand digitizing a payment instrument, such as a credit card or a bank account, or using PayStand's network that rides on using bank login to verify the transaction as well as your bank account information, making bounce checks virtually a thing of the past. Whatever the payment instrument that your customer wishes to use can now be digitized with PayStand. That digital reference key, that payment instrument, can now be used in scheduled payments, recurring payments. Every time that a payment instrument is engaged, data is created, data is shared inside your NetSuite, and now NetSuite can organize that data automatically for you. So the notions of accountants poring over spreadsheets at the end of the period, racing to get all of the accounts reconciled, not only do we feel that's absurd, but we also know it's now the thing of the past. All of that coming from NetSuite receivables being automated and digitized thanks to PayStand. So, of course, from a more practical standpoint, PayStand needs to actually connect with your NetSuite. And that's what we call an ERP integration. So PayStand will actually connect into your NetSuite. We use your NetSuite as the source of truth. And your NetSuite actually becomes the oracle, not just for all of your business activities, inbound revenue, outgoing costs, and the delta in between. But NetSuite can now also control when your payments can take place, can now control your collections. Your staff will have the option to be able to engage these payment instruments, remit invoices and sales orders and more, all of which will happen within your NetSuite, not a third party, keeping your NetSuite as the source of truth, updated in real time, with your staff having the control without having to learn separate tools. One of the areas we found most overlooked is the importance of your brand. PayStand is one of the only processors in existence that built their technology from the ground up, knowing that your brand had to be more important to you than our brand had to be important to you. Surely our brand carries a reputation of security and reliability, not to mention innovation, but to your customers, your brand is the priority to you. Your brand will help your customers have a feeling of trust. It increases the brand equity the more that they engage with it, and it lets the customer know what their activity is about. PayStand's payment experience that launches from this integration will be branded to your firm. Your customers will feel like in the user experience that they went from your email to your invoice to your payment interface to your receipt. What is technically happening in the background, of course, is PayStand is actually serving its payment technology in that branded experience. And as a result, PayStand takes care of the matters of security and compliance for you, but all the while wrapped in your brand, so your customer never feels like they're leaving your firm, and they are going to pay you more often, more quickly, and more reliably. That digital payment experience is not just simply about branding and can somebody have a pay now button at the bottom of your invoice. It is about providing the options to your customers so that they can pay you in the manner that is best for their business as well, which will in turn reduce fees, reduce delays, and get you your receivables faster. No business can operate expecting customers to use only cards or only paper checks or only bank transfers. PayStand here offers multiple payment instruments that your customers can use to pay you. We offer management of these instruments where you can choose which instruments are available and how are they managed on a per customer basis, allowing your larger customers to pay you and be incentivized to pay you using a bank transfer, which typically come at that low flat rate regardless of the transaction size. But also for other customers, as to your preference, you can offer them the capacity to pay by credit card or debit card, wherein it's more convenient, perhaps better understood. It might be a small business who all they have at the moment is a credit card. PayStand offers direct ACH. We're in fact one of the only processors that does offer true direct ACH. Your customers do not have to make a separate payment account with PayStand. There is no required asynchronous pause in the payment experience while a bank account gets verified. We're one of the only true direct ACH providers in the industry. And then of course, PayStand's network, where bank login not only does the validation for you deeper than any other bank verification can, but also provides the means for paying in a manner that is convenient, in a manner that is well understood by the payer, and is actually ultimately more secure, as most banks today require two-factor authentication, of which PayStand honors. Another benefit of digitizing your payments is the fact that now it can move at the speed of data. It can move at the speed of an email. It can move at the speed of any data transference from one point to another. PayStand updates your NetSuite in real time. The moment your payer pays you, they will receive an emailed receipt. Also, their invoice will have already been updated with the payment record so that there's no chance for that payer to accidentally submit another payment to the same invoice. We found in our studies over the years that the providers that create a separate cache or repository all had a challenge, some small, some great, a challenge keeping the data synchronized, keeping the data correct so that your customers would never be confused about whether or not they had actually paid your invoice or your sales order. With PayStand, that's not a problem because the single source of truth that you're using for your business to understand all of your revenue is precisely the source of truth that PayStand uses to gather the information we need to launch payment experiences on behalf of a particular invoice or sales order using up-to-date information about that invoice or sales order. With all of that data, with payment instruments being referenced inside NetSuite, with payment records being written automatically, with customer records and invoices and sales orders being empowered to operate payments from your NetSuite, what we find are that all of the features NetSuite has to automate your accounts receivables and other activities like emailing collections or generating PDFs can now also be used to actually affect collection of funds. So now, yesterday perhaps you were emailing your customers a copy of the invoice to which they in turn write a paper check and mail that to you. Well, tomorrow with PayStand, you will email an invoice to your customer just as you do today, but now the customer will use those same payment details entered directly into the interface, into PayStand's interface, the one we branded for you, and thus the funds are remitted immediately. When yesterday's model is delivering remittance within days, if not weeks, PayStand's model delivers remittance within hours, maybe a day. So you begin to see how digitizing this, how quickly email was able to speed business where telephones and faxes were lagging behind. PayStand digitizing your payments now means receivables are not lagging behind thanks to the way that PayStand's handled that. You don't have to take just my word for it. These are all processes that we have actually delivered, helped succeed, and are continuing to help companies succeed with in a variety of industries, whether it's advertising, whether it's goods being shipped from warehouse or manufacturer to retail store, whether it is new technology, all the while PayStand is able to help these businesses benefit in key areas, especially from digitizing their payments. For instance, in the solar industry, it is common practice that someone will make a deposit and then continue to make several payments. Breaking out an invoice over multiple payments is easy to do in a digital space. It requires a human to organize it if it's in a manual space. So for one solar panel company that we are partnered with, that's one example of many of how PayStand has helped those businesses out. Now, what we also have as we continue our integration into NetSuite are the other features that PayStand can get plugged into to further expand how we engage with your customer. So I'll hand this over to Paul to describe more about our Suite Commerce Advanced extension and how it has helped bring that same digital value into Suite Commerce Advanced.
Well, thank you, Scott, for that presentation of the material regarding PayStand and the case studies. So now I'd like to talk a little bit about the Suite Commerce Advanced extension itself and how it appears and functions at a high level in your business's Suite Commerce Advanced e-commerce web store. So as we say, this is a native Suite Commerce Advanced extension. It's fully compliant with the Suite Commerce Advanced extensibility framework, which is very important to future-proof the integration moving forward. And it allows customers to pay with PayStand through the Suite Commerce Advanced web checkout flow. And here on this slide, you can see in the lower right-hand corner that the web store customer has the ability to click on the Pay with PayStand button, as you see here. So now the Suite Commerce Advanced extension allows the ability for the web store customer, again, within the native Suite Commerce Advanced web checkout flow, to utilize multiple payment options to settle their invoices. So they can use the PayStand network. Once it's been activated, they can use ACH or automated clearinghouse payments, electronic payments, and then they can also use P cards or corporate purchasing credit cards. Now, the native Suite Commerce Advanced extension from PayStand allows for real-time reconciliation. Cash applications can take place immediately within the NetSuite ERP core financial application, as you see here with this invoice. The Suite Commerce Advanced extension affects invoices within the My Account section of the Suite Commerce Advanced web store. And this enables web store users to be provided with web-based access to the customer's recent purchase history. Customers will have the ability to view and edit their invoices through the Invoices tab of the My Account section in the Suite Commerce Advanced application. It displays all of the customer invoices, complete with their statuses and the amounts. All of the invoices can be viewed, printed, or updated from this page in the Suite Commerce Advanced application. The My Account section also provides a transaction history tab, which provides a log of all account transactions that are related to the customer account. And web store users have the ability to view their purchase history. The Purchase History tab in the My Account section is where all of the web store customers can view the status of all of their pending orders and fulfillments. So now we'd like to turn the floor over to some of the questions that we've received and some of the answers that we have for those questions. So the first question is, how does the PayStand application integrate with NetSuite ERP, and what is the duration of the implementation?
PayStand performs the integration for you. We install the bundle, configure it to your accounting and marketing standards, test the bundle to ensure a safe and correct implementation, and then provide those results to you to prove that the bundle is in good order. The implementation process has gone as quickly as several days to also several weeks, depending upon the complexity and sophistication of your current NetSuite environment.
The second question is, how long does it take to integrate PayStand with NetSuite ERP and Suite Commerce Advanced?
Once the partnership between PayStand and your business is established, the implementation takes anywhere from several days to several weeks, depending upon the complexity and customizations of the implementation period.
And the third question is, are any customizations possible to the Suite Commerce My Account section?
Yes, authorized PayStand partners such as the SCG team can customize the display of the custom fields and data values provided by the PayStand application. The appearance of the My Account section in SuiteCommerce or SuiteCommerce Advanced can be completely customized and themed to suit any corporate style guide or branding desired.
All right, fantastic. So it looks like we'll be able to wrap up right on time this afternoon. And I know I speak for both the Sieber Consulting Group team as well as the PayStand team in thanking all of our webinar attendees for their interest and time today in discovering more about digital payments and accounts receivable automation technology for Oracle NetSuite ERP and SuiteCommerce Advanced e-commerce. Now, all of our attendees this afternoon will be sent a free copy of PayStand's Controller's Guide to B2B Payments Optimization, which will showcase how to transform your accounts receivable operations into a strategic stakeholder. This guide will give you a snapshot of your business's payments, allowing you to know the exact pulse of your business at any time. If you're interested in finding out more about PayStand payments and accounts receivable automation for your business running NetSuite ERP, please drop us a line and we'll set up a telephone chat about how PayStand can accelerate your digital transformation. Thanks everyone, and have a super afternoon.